Hello guys, I'm here with Yunus. He's a jujitsu master and coach. He's an inspiration to his students, and overall he's an amazing, humble, talented guy. So I'm here today to ask him for some self-defense.
Yeah, sure. First of all, I don't consider myself a master for sure. Okay, I'm just a student of the art. I try to say that all the time. I appreciate your words, but I would definitely be happy to give some tips. And let me ask you a few things though, so to give you the better advice, right? And a lot of people consider self-defense is like something people watch a lot of movies, and then they have the expectations of like it's all about techniques and some killer stuff, you know, and then like, oh, some bad guy comes in and you do some karate stuff and you beat him up, and then it's like, okay, that's self-defense, but that's not self-defense. Self-defense is, I'm in a situation, I'm in an area, something dangerous is happening, okay, like because of a guy, and how can I get out of this situation safely, right? So you like camping around, right? Yeah. You do camping, and then I totally understand. It's like, for example, it might be at night, you might be in a forest, you're in a tent, right? And then you want to feel safe there, of course. So even before we move on to what kind of things to look for in an assailant, there are a few things we have to consider first for campers. Like what? Know your surroundings. You have to make sure you exactly know where you're staying. What's the closest establishment? If there's a police station, if there's a hospital, if there's anything in case of emergency, where do you have to go? If there are any animals there, any kind of like natural dangers there, you have to be careful about this. So know your environment, that's really important thing. Other things, know what kind of gear you have. Make sure you plan everything. If you have any gear, especially to protect yourself, make sure you're keeping these close to yourself. Like when you're sleeping in your tent, don't leave things like around. Keep everything close to yourself. If you can, there are different kind of tents, but if you can kind of, for example, lock it, or if you can do any kind of security, I don't know, setup, that if somebody comes in, they cannot open the door easy without any sound. Or if they come in, maybe something drops and there's a sound of it, so you can hear something is going on. If you can, I don't want to go too far to say put on some traps, because there's illegal, like it might be illegal, you know. But I think these kind of things might be a lot more important than what kind of technique we can use. That's number one. Number two, depending on where you're camping. If in China is, you know, like weapons are illegal, but there might be some legal things you can use. Or if you're in Brazil, or if you're in the US or whatever, if there's any legal substances that you can use to defend yourself, can be a gun, can be a spray, can be any kind of tool, you might want to keep it close to yourself as well. You don't have to use it, but just kind of intimidation tool, it might still be useful. You have to understand, okay? A lot of times, when people want to bully you, when they want to attack you, rob you, or whatever, they are not just gonna go and attack the first target. These guys are also not stupid. They are going to look for signs of weaknesses, alright? A lot of times when people come in to rob houses, they already watch the people and they know who has a dog, who has a gun, who leaves how many people in the house. So, being ready about these kind of things, just as a deterrent, and just acting confident, and just being ready overall, might already like keep a lot of dangers away from you. You have to be careful about that as well. And let's move on to discussing another situation. Let's think about a situation where actually there's a guy who comes in, maybe a few, and I notice that's happening, or I wake up or whatever, and I know I'm in danger, and now I have to protect myself. What do I have to do? You have to remember, trying to beat up someone is trying to beat up someone. It's not self-defense. Trying to see, oh, these guys are bad people, and trying to beat them up, that's not self-defense. That's punishing the guys. That's being a vigilante, understand? What you have to do as a citizen, the legal option you have is to run away, is to get out of there as fast as possible. And if you have your gear close, and if you know the establishment, you know where's the closest thing to escape to, then you're gonna be safe and you're just gonna go there. Don't think about your tent, you can get it back. Okay, just keep your valuables, keep what's important, and make a run to that area. That's the smartest thing to do. You don't want to get into an altercation. You don't want to end up in a situation where you end up beating people, because even if you beat them up, even if they're the bad guys, you might get a sickness from these guys. You might hurt yourself. If you hit someone in the skull with no gloves, it's very possible you break your hands. And all other things can happen. These guys who try to rob you can go and sue you later, you know, and they ask you for money. So the smartest thing is always leave your ego out and just get away, just run. Learn how to, improve your 100-meter sprint, okay? Do a dash. But let's move beyond that as well. Let's think about the situation. Is the last topic. I find myself in a situation where I have my everything, I want to get away, but there's this guy who comes to me and wants to speak to me or something, and it makes me feel unsafe. He might attack me. I feel from his body movement, I assess the situation, it might be dangerous. So what can I do?